taste
Yes.
is a scam controversy. Throwing that out there. I mean, we had a little bit of discussions even before we got on camera.
Yes.
I'm
like your hype man. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So okay. So we put it out there. Someone says to you, "Taste is a scam."
Tell me more.
Tell us more.
I mean, I suppose in what way? Like, this is a big, long, maybe controversial conversation.
Yeah, that's probably why we're discussing it, but it's irrelevant, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think. What do you mean by that? Like, are you just saying that taste only comes to those with money? I know that you didn't say that, but maybe I suppose that's implied.
I'm sure it's been said. I think when I say taste is when we throw that statement out, taste is a scam. Mm-hmm. We're saying the ideas of what taste is may not be totally truthful, right? Or totally transparent, and maybe on purpose too. I think the suggestion is there too. When I hear scam, I think structure, right? Like someone's trying to get one over on me, right? And so taste is a scam is like, a statement that alludes to there's forces at work that want taste to be something that is, I think in our context in the design world, be it, interiors, architecture, furniture, whatever, fashion, music, art, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like it serves as a separator, right? Okay. Say, you've got taste, I don't.
Okay, but I feel like then if it's a scam, then is the whole of what we're doing
Are we scammers?
Are we scammers
as designers? Good question. I mean,
yeah.
I think some people might say yeah. Some people might say
tell me more.
yeah. And I think based on like sort of like one sort of siloed, willful ignorance, if you will, like not wanting to gather all the information and look at things from all sides. One could say that. One could say, the exact opposite. Taste, of course, isn't a scam. I think when it comes right down to it, when we say taste is a scam, I feel the way I feel about that, and again, we've talked about this too, is that it's, taste is something that is not something that someone innately has, but that one is not born with it. This is something that this is nurture rather than nature.
So are you saying that and that's interesting, because I've always actually thought that the opposite. You can go to school, you can learn sort of basic fundamentals by reading a book, going to school, all these things. But I've always sort of thought that the opposite of what you just said, that people are just sort of born with sort of having that innate sort of like, je ne sais quoi, if I'm to... I don't know. I guess this is...
Said in French to further elevate you.
Right. I think, but maybe you're right. I mean, maybe it's sort of like...
Can we just stop there?
Yeah. Why?
Maybe I'm right.
No, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is sort of, taste is sort of curated over time.
Hold that thought. I love it. Can I pause you for a second there? Okay. So maybe, I think you said we had to pause that thought, and it was like, maybe taste is
curated over time.
Right.
But also, what does that mean? Does that mean that only like, is it over like a length of time? Is it over like, I have more taste because I am older? Is it saying that, a 50-year-old, not that I'm 50 yet, but approaching that soon, I just want compliments on my great no.
Yeah, we're talking vintage.
Enough. Is it kind of saying that because it's curated over time, are we saying then that, you know, that comes with age? And that, I think that's kind of like also an old school maybe way of thinking, maybe, you know, how we sort of approach things like back in the day. Is it more that everyone sort of kind of has a sense of taste and style and what have you? And I think maybe where, you know, like you touched upon, architects, designers, decorators, fashion designers, those artists,
musicians,
right? Those are sort of like the head chief curators, if you will. Is that kind of too, like, is this too sort of like woo woo over the top? Like we're really not that special, but I suppose just looking at it sort of in that kind of context where designers and architects really sort of fulfill a role in the world.
Fair.
Obviously,
I think can I
kind of
get in here now with that? Yes, and everyone has a role, right? So, you know, designers, architects, you know, painters, writers, composers. You know, all these people have a role, as does everyone in shaping, you know, in participating in culture, right? And I think culture, has, not to get too deep into the philosophical stuff here, although I mean this certainly asks for philosophical discussion, taste being a scam. I think it's like, you know, those roles are by definition shapers of culture, I think, right? But they're also genuinely products of environments, right, and conditions, be they politics, you know, religion, you know, all these different things feed into culture, right? And it's like, you know, and so taste is kind of like one of the things that gets teased out of all that, right? So the culture that one is exposed to, the time, you know, and that's a product of its time. You know, all the things that are going on at that time, you know, music and art and all those kinds of things are, you know, participating in what's sort of creating that taste, as well as your access and your socioeconomic position, you know, how much money you have. You know, I'm sorry, money grants access to some, unfortunately, but you know, there's other ways to gain access, but that certainly plays a role. All of these things play a role in, you know, how one sort of builds up their own taste, right? And it's like, who decides what is tasteful, or not, you know, tends to be those leaders in these, you know, specific areas. So so to respond quickly to what you said, I don't think it's necessarily a product of age and experience. It certainly can be, because that equates with understanding and education, if you will, right? One can also go and educate themselves, right? One can go to school or read books or watch YouTube or whatever and learn, right? And those form, you know, that forms an idea and an identity, which is expressed as taste.
Ready?
Go.
Card 3.
Card 3 and 4. Go.
Start.
So, you know, we talked about, you know, what kind of like maybe taste is. I don't know. I don't think we've really defined it, but I think
I think we were spending time on the philosophy rock.
The rock must be visited.
Pete spends a lot of time.
Oh, I do.
In the philosophy rock.
Yes, I do. Emilia is much more nuts and bolts. Clearly less verbose, less wordy.
Go on. I'm all ears.
Maybe we've teased out of that like, taste is a product of, our life's experiences, our education, our just our experiences, right? And then taste comes out as, our likes and dislikes, really, at the end of the day, and our
that's actually, you're right. Sorry to cut you off, but that's when you sort of take all the whatever thinking up here and sort of bring it down to real world application. That's kind of what it is. I like this and I don't like this.
And so many people lack confidence in what they like.
But this is maybe why we have jobs
as designers.
At
least the way we approach it, because some people think my job as a designer is to deliver my taste to you, right? And to say, you should do this. I know you like black, white, and purple. However, you should be doing green, yellow, and blue.
Right. So, I mean, I think
because I say so. That's where...
Well, that's, I think, another topic for a whole other discussion.
No, I think it ties right into this. Into this. Yeah, because I mean, it defines our role as helping, as facilitating taste.
Right, and sort of getting the best. I think it's like you said, maybe there's something correct in what you said initially, where everyone,
even a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then.
Intrinsically, is that a word?
You tell me.
Intrinsically.
Sorry, people are going to shit on me for correcting you.
Intrinsically. Okay. Maybe everyone is born with
we just said no.
A kernel.
People experience life and figure out what they like and what they don't. I mean, maybe there's certain things that one is born with. I mean, it might be that one is born with a talent.
Right. Okay. So maybe
put things together.
Maybe that's where I'm sort of like lost a bit too, and sort of in distinguishing between the two. But I think
everyone has taste.
Yeah.
By our definition.
Yes, that's sort of what I was getting at. Sorry, in a very on the rock, in a roundabout way.
Emilia went to the rock. Come down from the rock, Emilia. Yeah. And let's talk about in our world.
Yeah.
Maybe clients. So this is kind of four, though.
This is like a lot of. It's okay.
Okay. So.
4.
So our role, right? I mean, is when it comes to taste, is I think we talked about, helping people gain more confidence in. We want to make it, part of our role is to make it really comfortable to share what you like and don't like. Even though the world's been telling you don't like the right stuff. Or in the right way or whatever. I think we feel like, us as designers, it's about taking and learning and helping express it in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And maybe in a few ways that you didn't know you liked and then discover that you do. Right. Like stuff like just even like materials.
Right? Well, I think it's interesting because yesterday we actually had a big presentation and we showed our clients a laundry room concept, and the color was Merlot. We literally just went crazy, and we were like, why not?
Puce.
Not puce. From the tiles to the cabinets. Anyway, and they didn't gravitate towards that, but now they want us to look at like purple or sage.
Right.
Two different, so I think it's like, why not? Who says, right? Just because beige and grayish and this and that is in right now, like if the client loves purple, why not give them a purple laundry room? Like who says that we can't do these things?
I love that.
So I don't know. It's really refreshing to see clients be able to be comfortable in expressing their, like you said, their likes, their dislikes,
their convictions, right? Because so much of, I mean, and not to get on like, media and the messaging and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, it's just the truth, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff there to create fear, right?
Yeah.
And as like, I think some in the design world, like, I mean, I'm not, we're obviously not pointing any fingers. There's some really, really good designers that we know. And I'd like to put us in that group too, is like, like fear is not our friend, right? Like people don't hire us. I mean, maybe people do. I don't know. I've never asked. Did you hire us because we're fearful?
Because you're scared.
Because you're scared. But I think there's
of me.
There is a certain amount of fear. I mean, there are certain things that I think are healthy fears, like the amount of work it takes to coordinate a design project and to make all the things work together. But I guess the message here, maybe, I don't know. For me, I keep hitting my microphone. For us, is like, be confident in what you like. Be confident in be proud, I guess, of what you like, and it's like, as designers, not that necessarily anyone's asking in this video, but I mean, I feel like a big part of our job is us
piecing the puzzle, putting the puzzle together. Yeah, right? And taking all that information
as interior and landscape designers.
Yeah, and taking all that information and making all the likes, the dislikes, the whatever, into a functional, cohesive, and beautiful design for someone, whether it's interior, exterior.
So I don't know what I was going to do.
I don't know why did you do that? That's so steel. Weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, and I think, just to maybe like round this up, because I think we've been talking for a long time, but I think in general, whether it's,
we need about 6 to 8 minutes.
In general, I think whether it's, platforms where you sort of share inspiration images or social media or whatever, like, I don't think these things are all useful tools. However, I think sometimes they don't necessarily help, because I think people get stuck and afraid, and it's almost like you're being fed information and a look or a vibe that's not really sort of in you, or I don't know if I'm making any sense. Now I'm getting on the rock, but it's very much
back on the rock.
I'm back on the rock.
Come down off the rock.
Anyway, so I think while we have all these tools at our disposal now. Yeah. I mean, I think back in the day, I guess we only had like TV and magazines, right, and newspapers. Now this is how old I am. I'm referencing newspapers. Love my newspaper. But I think we're just so bombarded with like imagery and perfect this and gray this and beige this, that I think we're losing. I think maybe people lose a sense of what they actually like and don't like. Is this like a big sort of like,
if we view ourselves through the lens of what we're watching, let's say, and scrolling and stuff like that, absolutely. So I mean, definitely a call to, I think in that case, if that's where we say, oh, my taste is built on everything I see on Instagram, well, that's when I say maybe, taste is a scam, right? Yeah. Because that's carefully constructed.
That's a good way to sort of conclude this whole.
Yeah. It's like, it comes from here, you know what I mean? And it's like, it comes from here, right? And then what we do with it is the next steps.
I'm the sidekick.
We've gone on the rock of discussion and off the rock and back on the rock and sat around the rock, and now
we made marshmallows around the rock.
Down by the seashore of taste and discussion. But I mean, I think hopefully, I feel like we've touched on a few things here, and I like, taste in one way, it is a scam, right? In that there is forces, if you will. I don't want to get too conspiracy here. I mean, and this is not about conspiracies, but this is just like consumerism, right? In the world, right? I mean, there are forces at work that are trying to, encourage all of us to make certain choices, and order from them. And that's fine. I mean, we're entrepreneurs and we understand business. I mean, I guess what I'm getting at here is that, anyone's taste is valid, right? And it's not something to be feared or to be ashamed of, or, ashamed might be a strong word, but anyways.
So if you love purple.
Yeah.
And
you want
Paisley,
it to be your laundry room.
And Paisley.
Yeah.
And you love green. And you love white, and you love black, and you love brown. Like, just embrace it and don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't worry about being right? And it's like, I don't know, maybe someone out there, I mean, I'm sure the question pops into my mind, so it's popped into someone's mind, is like, okay, well, where do you guys come in as like designers? Are you guys
Good
like,
question.
are you guys like the man? You know what I mean? Are we like, part of the conspiracy? And I would say no. I mean, I would say, it's up to us to say, as designers, I see our role as sort of, again, a role, as everyone has one, as being, those who can help focus taste, right? Create context, make things make sense together, offer contrasting or complementary things that haven't been thought of yet that pair well with that to get the best expression of, also because within design, it's not just eyes, right? It's smell, it's touch, it's sound, and it's also like
just an overall sort of feeling or sensation.
Feeling,
yeah, it's very much that 100%.
Right?
When you walk into a space, and again, I think we're droning on here, but when you walk into a space that's been well curated or designed or whatever, a lot of the time you can't really put your finger on why you really like it or what about it makes you feel good, but there's something about a well-designed space or a well-curated space that just sort of it works and it brings out the best feelings and emotions in people. And I think that's the role of like, the design world, whether it's designers for them. Yeah. Designers, architects.
Someone else might not feel the same way.
Yeah.
Just like a piece of music, right? A piece of music, the really good stuff is like the hairs on, the hairs stand up on your arm, or, the piece of art where you sit in front of that painting and you can just, it makes you feel a certain way, and you feel a certain way, you hear things a different way. Anyways, it's, it's all those things. And it's like, us as designers, we've been lucky enough to learn a lot of different ways to make those things happen, as well as, through educational and through experience. And that's our role. Our role is to really, is to, get the best expression of that stuff, right? And, but keep it personal and not make it like a performance. So we're not here to tell you what good taste or bad taste is, right? We're here to
shocking.
We're not. I mean, that's not what this video was about. It was really just about making sure that you were confident that you have good taste, and it's about not being fearful about that. You know what I mean? And it's like, now when it comes to, I don't want to turn this into a commercial, but I think, where we've seen the best success a lot of times is where we get to help people,
realize your potential,
make that taste make sense with all the other sort of
sound like a recruitment video.
It does sound like fun.
Anyway, I think we're not here to tell you what's good, what's not good. We're just here to
we're just here to share, and then and to tell, and encourage you to question sort of like your own fears that way, and because you've got taste, whether you knew it or not. So hopefully you liked what we talked about today. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, or not.
Yeah, that's okay too.
Think for yourself. If you think you want to subscribe, smash like.
Sounds like our 10-year-old. And if you don't want to subscribe, that's cool too. We're just trying this out. So
we'll see you at the next video when you say, how am I going to find these guys? And you finally find us, and it feels that much better when you subscribe next time.
Em and Pete out.
Oh my God. Do I have any memory left on my phone?
I don't know.